want to take a little time tonight. I'm out here about to start one of my nightly workouts, and I want to spend some time working on the jab with you guys. So glad you could join us. If you're here live, make sure you comment. If you're catching us after the fact, just put in replay in the comments. Ask if you have any questions. So you see lots of people teaching the jab. You'll even see like former world champions, people that are teaching, and it's very difficult to sort of understand what they're trying to say. Like they don't really break the punch down. They just sort of demonstrate it, and then they say, hey, throw it like this right here. I mean, that isn't really instruction. It's not really breaking it down in a way that's accessible that we can actually do it and use it. So what we're going to try to do is break that punch down a little bit and help you, whether you're learning it for the first time or whether you're trying to learn to teach it. You want to have some fundamentals and a blueprint for how to break down the basic punches. So hopefully you've already learned what a three-point stance is, and regardless of the style that you are, that three-point stance is probably the best way to position yourself. And to give you an idea, that three-point stance is, if I'm right-handed, the right elbow is 1 point, the right hand on the chin is 2 points, and the left elbow touching the body is 3 points. So the left hand stays about 6 inches off the chin. That's for a regular distance fighting. When you get in close, of course, you can shell up. But for longer range stuff, we like the hand to drift out and be a little bit closer to the target. So we have 3 points of contact is what we call it. Right elbow, right hand, left elbow. So if you can fight from there, or at least learn that as a foundation, it's a pretty good base to get rolling with. Okay, so now on the jab, let's break it down. Let's not just throw it. Let's learn how to release it. So when you throw a good jab, there's a couple of steps you want to take if you're doing it, learning it, or teaching it. The first thing that happens is the hand is going to move toward the target, straight to the target. As the hand leaves, the elbow begins to rise. Now that is a speed jab. On a speed jab, the hand leaves, the elbow rises. So that is very deceptive, coming toward you with a rising elbow, and then you turn it over at the end of the punch. So the technique is the hand moves, the elbow rises, and then as you get a 3/4 extension, you crank and torque and turn, and then the inside of the shoulder lightly touches the chin, which gives you 4 points of contact. 1, 2, 3, contact on the target, and 4 inside your chin. So your speed jab is hand leaves, weapon first, elbow rises, which is extension of the arm, and then at 3/4 extension, you have a rotation, boom, and as you make contact, inside the chin touches the shoulder. That is your basic jab. When you're doing a power jab, you'll see sometimes in some of our reels, Joe Lewis will teach a power jab with the elbow rotating out. Well, the first comment is always telegraphing. Well, you got to understand the difference in the two punches. If somebody's stunned, or if you're doing like a 2-1-2, the jab becomes a power punch. But if you want a powerful jab, the reason for lifting the elbow is you incorporate different muscles, and it makes it, to help you understand it, if you're bench pressing how much weight versus a close grip press, which is more triceps. Well, obviously you can bench press more than you can tricep press. You're stronger if you can incorporate more pec and more shoulder. Just a thought. So if you wanted a power jab, I say let the hand go, let the elbow rise first, and then crank the elbow out if you were trying to make it a power jab. So you have two versions. Now, there are tons of other versions. You know, people talk about flicking it, and they'll throw it long, high, step in, more of a stiff jab. I'm going to give you a little language of how you can sort of differentiate on how you're learning to throw that here in just a second. But I want to talk about the footwork, and this is kind of an impromptu session. If you got any questions, I hope you can see everything okay. If you have any comments, put them in. I'll try to get them. If you're new to the channel, I'm Alan Branch from Glove Up. David Dice and I created a program. We call it Fighters College, and it's 82 years worth of martial arts experience that we have, and we're passing it on to you. We'd love to have you stay here on the channel, subscribe. If you want to learn more, look into our certification. We have a really affordable membership option where we've got tons of videos that you don't see on the regular channel. Would love to have you in there as well. So when you're doing your stepping, you see online, there's all kinds of fancy footwork drills, and we sort of feel like most people don't have their basics down, right? Your basics would be whatever direction you're going, that foot moves first, okay? So if you're learning a jab, first thing you have to learn on footwork is to move 4 inches or so with both feet. So if I'm going forward, it's 4 inches up. When you add the jab, it's the exact same footwork. So I step in 4 inches, the hand moves, the feet move 4 inches, the foot moves with the hand. And there's a lot, if you think about it, there's a lot of coordination going on there. So if you're new, what are all these things you're trying to do at once? You're trying to get the mechanics of the elbow, the weapon first, elbow rises, trying to turn it over, trying to get 4 points of contact. Now I got to step with it. Yeah, that's why it takes a long time to learn to box, but you want to practice it. Two different things. One, you can punch from position, which is standing still. That'd be great if you're my target and you just want to stand there. Makes it a lot easier to hit you. Or you're in motion. Most of the time you're punching in motion. You're tracking a target. So it's moving and you're having to move toward it to go after it. If somebody's standing on the ropes, you can dig in and throw some shots and don't have to move as much. You'd be from position. So one is position, one is motion. And that's with all punches. So you need to be able to step pretty much with everything that you do. So back to the jab. So on the jab, we've got the speed jab. What happens? Weapon first, elbow rises, extension, turn it over, you crank, torque it at the end. And then once you get that down, you learn to step with it. Boom. So you learn a step with the jab. And you can, if you're like, I'm almost 60 and I've been able to maintain my speed and my balance and coordination because of boxing. It's the way your brain is trained to do these patterns. It does a lot for keeping your reflexes and speed, which we think fighters obviously need. Spending some time learning to develop that will really help coordination, reflexes, your balance, pretty much everything, and not just boxing, but for overall movement for other sports as well. So once you get that jab down and you can practice it, and I would give yourself, I would take that jab and I would develop one of them. So maybe the speed jab to start. So you develop your speed jab and then you put it into a combination. We call this combination jab in, and jab in is real simple. You go single jab. Oh, let me check my comments. Yeah, we're live. What's up, guys? Hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, I was thinking about this today, and I said, you know what? I got so much stuff I want to teach. I'm just going to start firing it up. No editing. Here we are. Questions can go whenever you want them. I'll try to get to them in a minute. So let's say I've developed that jab, and I've got this mechanic down of weapon first, elbow rise, shoulder torque on the end. I figured out how to get a little step into it. I've got my 4 points of contact on the end of each punch. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put into a combination we call setup. And setup is a way to use your jab to find the target for the right hand, which we haven't worked on yet. But the way that would work is you practice single jab, then you practice double jab, and then you practice double jab cross. There's a lot of mechanics going on to get all that stuff right. So there's stepping, penetrating. What are you doing with that jab? The first jab is a probe, like how far away are you? The second jab is a locator. So I measure distance on the first one, and the second one, measure distance, and then touch you on the next one. Then I know where you are, and then I can track up and locate you on the last one, and then be able to drop the right hand. So you would practice that. You set a timer, and you fire a jab, boom. After you fire a jab, what do? You cover, and then you maneuver either your head or your feet. Then you come in, double jab, cover, move your head and your feet, and then double in a right, cover, move, hands, head, or feet. You do that for 3 minutes, developing the jab, focusing on that release, that turnover, those points of contact, getting the footwork down, and then that is sort of a application of the jab. So, what sort of not frustrated me, but for you guys that are trying to learn, right? When you see these guys that are teaching, and look, I'm all for all styles and all guys, and it's not our way isn't the only way of doing stuff for sure, but we learn from some pretty good fighters and coaches. And, if a guy puts on a glove and starts saying, throw your hand like this, that's not instruction. That's me showing off what I can do, and you copy me. It doesn't do you any good if I can do it. The only way that I help you is if I can solve a problem that you may have, which might be have trouble landing the jab. People see it coming, doesn't have enough snap on it. It's not fast enough. I can't step in with it. I need to be able to show you how to solve a problem that exists. Most of the time, it breaks down to the fundamentals. It wasn't taught right. Throw your hand at the bag like this isn't teaching you. So that's why we really want to break this down and be the best at the breakdown A to Z step-by-step process of throwing your punches, doing your defense, etc. So let's review it real quick, make sure we got it. The speed jab is a flick, like a snake's tongue. It doesn't have rotation or torque or weight shift. It's just a speed flick. So your weight is centered, you're 50-50, you've got good stance, you've got your 3 points of contact. The hand moves first. As the hand leaves the chin, the elbow begins to rise. This is your tricep. It is extension of the arm. The tricep extends the arm. At 3/4 extension, the shoulder becomes involved. Then we're going to make that internal rotation of the hand. Boom, and we try to pop it right on the end so you have a little bit of pec. And then at the end of that punch, I want you to think lats and upper back, snap it into the back position. So it's not just throw it and dangle it, it's boom, and then how fast can I recoil it to that position? So hand going out is triceps, shoulders, a little bit of chest. Hand coming back, boom, it's back. So you're trying to practice how fast can I release hand, extend arm, rise elbow, rotate, involve the shoulder and the chest, make that torque, pop, and then use the lats to retract. Boom, how fast can I extend, retract? Then, of course, I need to learn how to locate the target, which takes a little more work if you're doing that. And then your combination you can use to do it, again, we call it setup. That's a single jab, a double, and a right. And that's the setup for the jab. So if you're here with me, I'm going to see, I haven't done too many of these live. I'll try to bounce in and see if I can find any, I don't know where the comments are. I'm not tech illiterate. I'm just not used to doing it on live on the phone. So if you have a question right now, I'm watching the screen, feel free to put it in. And I saw a couple come through while I was talking, but I wasn't able to address them. So if you have a question right now on the jab, feel free to ask it. I would take guys, minimum of a couple weeks of drilling just a 1-1-2 with getting the footwork down. Especially if you train on your own, and if you're like me and most of us, the bulk of our training is alone. And then when you get with a partner, it's defense drills and some sparring or things like that. But most of the training, a lot of it is a solo sport. So you need drills that you can do that will develop your skills when other people aren't around. And if you're like me, this is different because now I'm in teacher mode. But when I'm fighting or competing, I'm not trying to show you what I'm doing. I'm keeping that stuff to myself. And you'll find out when we spar. Like, I don't want to give you all the tricks, but now I'm in a different mode and trying to help you guys get the advantage. What do we got? Any questions on that? Okay. So hopefully that helps you guys on the jab. If this helps, hit a comment in there. Just let me know that you liked it, that you can apply it. You want to see more stuff like this, can start popping these out and making more videos like this where you can develop these punches. And the jab is, without a doubt, the most effective punch. It is the most accurate. It's the fastest. It's to educate. So you can learn to throw that left into a hook, a short uppercut, 4-5. You can start to develop those jabs. And the one thing I did want to add on, this is important. The way you can determine what type of jab you have is the type of language that it has behind it. So, of course, it's very poor sportsmanship to mouth off at somebody while you're sparring, right? But if your hand's doing the talking, that's not poor sportsmanship. That's just skill. So what can the jab say to the target? The jab can say, hey, buddy, I'm here. Boom. It can say, yeah, I'm maybe a little faster than you thought. I can step in behind it and go, yeah, this jab could hurt a little. I could back you up a little, or I can put it over your face. This jab can blind you, so I can blind you a little bit with that jab. Or this jab can check and kind of obstruct your body. It can fake low. It can blind, obstruct, snap, kind of step in and back you up, can measure you out low. There's a lot of things that left hand can do. So if I think with that sort of language in the execution of the punch, that gives me a serious advantage. So I come out to, all right, today I want to work on a blistering jab. So today I'm sparring, I'm doing some drills. I got my buddy I'm working with. I'm going to try to take my jab, and I'm just going to see just how fast I can release and put it in his face, just make him deal with that fast, blistering jab all night long. Even if that's all I really throw, just constantly pressuring with working on developing that left jab with a language. So the jab has a language. It does talking for you, substance into the workout because of that language that you give it. So guys, that's it for tonight. Just getting ready to start my workout and wanted to run that through. I'll try to do another video later in the week where I'll cover more of the right hand. I hope this stuff helps. Want to see the comments that you have. Your feedback will determine how many of these and how much stuff like this I continue to do. It's raw, it's unedited, it's live. Probably hear stuff going up and down the road and birds chirping and whatever's going on out there tonight. But if it helps you, please let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.